Hello my friends, welcome back to A Drill and a Dream. Today is another excavation day, which are like the most exciting days. It always blows my mind how much work can get accomplished in one day with big equipment. It's pretty neat. So Mark has started working for the day. Today is a little bit wet outside. It's not raining, but the ground is just kind of muddy. So we're doing something slightly different today again. Instead of working on the stone wall, he's working on leveling the ground some. So it's tricky. We have so many different levels of ground, and the goal is that this top area here where you step out of the house, this whole area all the way over to the shed, trying to be quiet, trying to stay in the quiet area. But basically the whole backyard area where you step out from the house, I want it to be one level, which is quite a bit higher than the forest area with the creek that's a lower level. So we're working on just kind of smoothing it out and smoothing the transitions between the upper and the lower. So that's the big plan for today. We can watch how Mark does this. It's always very interesting. So I hope you enjoy this video. Good morning, friends. So I wanted to give you an update on everything that happened yesterday. Sometimes it's hard to get really good camera angles because you're not always sure where he's going and you want to make sure you're well out of the way so you're not going to get hit by the arm. And honestly, I don't want to be like a disturbance to him. I want him to just be able to do his thing and not worry about where you guys are. So I'm going to take this opportunity to show you everything that happened yesterday. So mainly he was working on kind of leveling out this area up here. We got rid of the metal, which is a very exciting thing. So kind of he's working on smoothing everything out to keep it more of this level here and take away all of the humps. And in doing that, he had to dig up a bunch of this ground and push it downwards into the forest. And look at these crazy rocks that he found. It's insane, the rocks that are underground here. They really are quite something. Look at this. It's like crazy. So I'm sure we will be finding uses for these in the patio. I believe he's going to be working on that today. Hopefully it dries up a little bit around here. But the ground is now sliding down into the forest, and you can see that it's a lot more level down here. And it's a lot better of just like a walkable declination. I don't know what the right word is. But it's muddy down here. Yeek. Yuck. But behind me is where he put a bunch of the rounder rocks that aren't so good for patio building, which I think is very cool. It gives, what I was saying was that I want to have this area be like the maintained forest area, and then past there be the wild area. And there was always a steep inclination here, and that's kind of the way that I could tell the difference between where I wanted it to be maintained and where I didn't want it to be. So I didn't actually want the whole area to be nicely slided down, because then I wouldn't have a boundary. So we came up with this idea to put rocks here, and I think it looks really great. And I'm going to tell him with any extra rocks he has at the end of patio building and stuff, we could really put it here as well, just to kind of keep the wall going. And then that whole area back there is kind of a mess. It's totally a mess. But Mark is going to come back next year and work on that stuff. This year is not priority. So we can always put more rocks there next year when we do more work back here. But the main priority for this year is, of course, closer to the house. He is going to still be taking out more of this ground. And then that rock, I don't want to go over there because it's so messy, but that rock there is going to be even more uncovered, which will be really, really nice. There really are some crazy, crazy rocks here. Wow, they will be useful. Guys, let's take a look at the incredible progress from today. I love these beautiful steps. We have made some major progress. And by we, I mean Mark, because I didn't do anything. But look at this. So the wall is quite a bit higher than it was before. I think it's pretty much to the top, give or take. And then I decided to do this terrace stone wall all the way around. So I'm just gonna do one layer instead of two. Initially I was gonna have one here and then another one here. And I decided against that today because I wanna make sure that the path that goes in front of the patio is large enough. So I don't want to put the second bed in and then that's gonna kind of make the path smaller. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Of course, it could always be added in the future if I decided to. But this is quite a bit of garden bed here. And I think it's gonna look really, really nice. It's also starting to come together the way that the ground is a lot flatter here than it was before because a lot of the dirt was put up behind the stones. So you can see that this is all kind of the same level going out into the forest, which is what I wanted. So yeah, it's looking pretty amazing thus far. There's just a little bit left of the stone wall here, maybe a little bit more height to the main wall, but mostly getting some sand so that we can put the top big flat stones. I think some of these stones we'll be using on the top of the patio. So laying some of these down around the outsides. And then it will be time for me to do the hard work of laying the top of the patio. So once we got everything basically where we wanted it to be, Mark went back with the loader to kind of smooth everything out and compact it a little bit. sod off of the patio area and really compact that area well so that it will not move over time when we have the stones in there. Okay friends, we are so very almost done, but not quite. Check out how everything is looking today. Absolutely incredible. So the walls are all done. The garden beds are all done. I don't know if you've seen this yet, actually. So he added an extra step here because it just worked out. And the beds in front are all done. So I decided, I don't remember if I told you this or not, but I decided to go with just the one bed. And then the steps go out further than the garden bed. It looks so good. Some of these stones are just crazy. I really like that one. Huge, flat, rectangular. But it looks so good. Can you even believe it? So all the way around the patio, there's this beautiful garden bed. And everything is, the rocks are cleaned up a little bit more. These ones are ones for the top of the patio. But everything is smoothed out, and look at how it so beautifully goes into the forest, which is so much more clear than before. And we've uncovered this rock some more, which literally has like a tree growing out of it. It's insane. I'm gonna clean it off a little bit sometime here. He put the extra rocks on this kind of wall pile, which looks really cool and gives a definitive barrier between the forest garden and the wild forest above. Honestly, look at the difference. So cool. And up here, everything is compacted and ready for the next step. So Mark is going to be back in a few days. He has some other jobs that he has to do first, but he's going to be back on Friday. So the plan is that he is going to bring sand from my dad's sand pit to put it in here. So I talked to him about putting gravel down, because everywhere it says to put gravel first and then put a layer of sand, then put your stones. Of course, my stones are all different thicknesses, so it's not your normal situation as far as sand goes. But he felt confident with the way that everything is laid out here. We have drainage tubes underneath, and he said that my dad's sand is very porous, so it's going to drain a lot better. And just with the way that everything is set up with these really big stones as the wall, he felt like just the sand was going to be enough drainage. That's usually what the gravel is for, it's for drainage. But with everything going on here, he felt that the sand was going to be good. So on Friday, he's going to bring in a few, probably 3 loads of sand, dump it here underneath me. And then we're gonna lay down some of the bigger stones that are flat. I'm not sure if it's gonna be mostly around the edge or what, but we'll put the big stones down and then I will go through after and lay the smaller stones. So that is the plan, that's where we're at. And we just have one more excavation day to go. Hey guys, so tomorrow is the final excavation day. Mark is coming to finish up the job. Wow, the sun is bright. But there's one thing that I forgot to show you when I was showing an update on things, and that is this trench that you can see right here, looking rather unattractive at the end of the driveway. But there is a purpose, of course. I had Mark dig this, so I'm going to put a hose, a PEX line, here, like this, in here, and it's going to give me, come up over there for a hose line, like so I can have water over there. Eventually, I'm planning on having a greenhouse over in that general area, so I figured it would be really nice to have water. And honestly, any place where you can have an outdoor spigot is a dream. Such an amazing benefit to have. So I'm going to put this for the water line, and it's going to be, obviously it's not that deep, it's going to be one of those ones that you turn off in the winter, which I already do that for my hose, so it's no big deal to add this in. And then I'm also going to do an electric line I have the wire that's special for being underground, so that is going to go to the shed so that I can have electricity in the shed, which I'm excited about as well. So that is what the trench is for. I'm going to lay this down, hopefully. It's very curly, so I'm not actually sure how it's gonna go. I might have to like kind of hold it down while he puts it underground or something, because I have a feeling if I let go it's just gonna coil right back, pretty much. So I don't know about this, but I'll do my best. So Mark is coming in the morning and he is going to finish up the job. Believe it or not, it's insanity, actually. I don't know how this is gonna really go. Now I will be off tomorrow so I can help with the process if need be to kind of keep it the way it's supposed to go, because it's supposed to be long enough to go all the way into the basement and everything. But it's worse when it's coiled. So we'll deal with that tomorrow. So even as we speak, sand is being delivered to my house over there. Very exciting. So when Mark comes, it's just going to be a matter of laying the final stones, putting the sand in and laying the final stones. I'm really interested to see how far these big flat stones go and how much of the patio it's going to cover. Obviously, there's still more around the outside needed to give it the height that it needs and everything. But I'm curious if there's going to be extras after doing the outside to kind of start the middle area. It'll be really interesting to see how it goes and to see how much is going to be left to fill in, by hand. No doubt there will be plenty, but the more big stones, the better. I think that this is actually long enough to go all the way to the breaker box, which would be really, really handy. I just want to make sure that there's enough over here to get inside the shed to do its thing. And honestly, I'll probably just leave this until we do the front of the shed, which I'm still planning on doing later in the summer. I think I need a little bit of a break from all the crazy big projects going on to kind of work on some of the smaller stuff that I want to get ahead of. But I still do plan on doing the front of the shed project this year and making that look better by fall. That's the goal. Because she ugly. We all know it. That's okay. Everything takes time. Okay, well that went easier than the hose. But like I said, I can hold it in a better way, kind of while he's pushing it over, I think, tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, let's look at it just one more time, because I'm obsessed, and understandably so. That's where the patio is gonna be. My beautiful, beautiful steps, my beautiful, beautiful garden beds. Oh, I have an update on that. Basically, I was thinking about how big this garden bed is on the patio. It's actually pretty big. And based on what actually came up for my seeds, obviously they didn't all come up, although my snapdragons are gorgeous. Look at this bouquet that I have in my house. A couple tulips and the snapdragons. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. But anyway, this is actually a lot of garden bed. So I think that I'm not going to use those two garden beds that I just made. Silly, I know, but I really don't think it's necessary. And they were just going to be a 1-year thing anyway. So I texted my friend Amanda, who has helped me with gardens, and she's got some of the seeds and stuff. So she's actually going to use them this year, and she's excited about that. So it's a win-win. I think I'm going to have my hands full just with this bed, and I can put everything that I planted in there. And also, I want to do some vegetables in there. It gets quite a bit of sun, actually. So that's very happy news. On the next video, I'm going to show you everything that happens tomorrow, obviously. But I also am hoping to finalize my garden design for back here so you can see everything. I was waiting. I have it very, very nearly finished, but I was waiting to see exactly how big everything turned out to be, because you never know for sure. So now that it's basically done, I can measure, even tonight, measure everything. And then I want to draw out my finalized garden design plan. Of course, it might change. It will probably change. Things just change. But I want to give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking about for this whole area back here. I literally can't get over how beautiful everything is. We are so close to the ending of the excavation here at the house. I can't wait to show you it on the next video. I can't wait to see it happening tomorrow. You can see my piles of sand over there. So exciting. So you definitely don't want to miss it. I will see you guys next time on A Drill and a Dream.